Hey there guys, and welcome back. Just want to make a quick video about, because I didn't really have examples to show for it without going to other card games that people might not understand, but how RNG actually does not help deck building or make it more diverse. It actually limits it more. And I can show you some examples of now of like how this works and how we sort of see it already with the new tempo meta. Like you basically have to play tempo, and that's it. You can't really run like future setup archetypes and stuff. The reason is because as more and more cards like these come out, if they keep going with this, which I really hope they don't, because it's already ticking me off to no end. Some of these cards with what they pull at the perfect times. They're gonna end up limiting deck building types. Like I can show you this example where okay, I'm playing a Hensel here, and I'm trying to run a Swarm deck, because I wanted to show maybe Swarm can still work, which I mean it can. The row limit, with the row limits, you can still run a Yankon Swarm deck, sort of. Unless they come out with more cards like this, and see as he plays his Winch, he gets a Ballista. Destroys all my 1 power units. This guy doesn't even run Ballista in his deck, because Northern Realms doesn't run Ballista anymore. But his RNG card gives him Ballista. Kills off all my 1 power units, okay? He plays another Winch. Gets another Ballista. Kills off a bunch more of my 1 power units. Um, Now this limits deck building because, I mean, if more cards like this come out that can pull, just randomly pull you like a Lacerate or something that you wouldn't normally run in your deck, but deals with swarming, has an option in it that deals with swarming, then you're not going to be able to run swarming anymore. Because as we already saw in the last meta, swarming was not that popular just because people were running ballistas so much. Um, that's why you didn't really run swarming, but I mean, ballistas sort of wore off later on, and then you sort of saw some swarming decks. But if every deck can just RNG out a card that'll deal with swarming, you're not going to be able to run swarming anymore because everybody's going to have a card that'll let them deal with that archetype perfectly. Like if there's one that everybody can run that'll randomly grab them a Tremors, well then why would you run a swarming deck that has a bunch of 1 power units in it? You wouldn't, because it'd be totally useless. And if they ever get lucky with the Tremors, your whole plans are going to be shut down. So that's one example. And then this next one, which was in my last video that you probably saw. Or actually, by the time I do this, it might be tomorrow's video. So this might be a little preview to tomorrow's video. But I play a Forktail, I get him boosted up, he usurpers into an RNG leader and grabs a Mandrake. And then the Mandrake totally shuts down my Forktail because yeah. I mean, at this point, I already knew he used both of his Scorches because he was trying to deal with my Arrakis Bahamas. So normally you figure, hey, I'm safer to play bigger units now because they don't have a Scorch and nobody runs Mardrome or Mandrake. Well, if they RNG out a Mandrake, well, now you'll never know when it's coming. And if everybody can run it, Mandrake, an RNG card that'll randomly grab him a Mandrake, well then why are you going to run a deck that boosts units? Because you're not going to be able to, because everybody's going to have a card that if they got lucky, they can deal with boosting units. And it just goes on and on like this as more RNG cards come out. This is why I hate one of the reasons I hate RNG is because these are cards, normally when you're building a deck, you have to make sacrifices for counter cards. Cards that are going to counter certain archetypes that are pretty popular. But when you got RNG cards that give you options to all the counter cards, then you don't need to run counter cards. You can just run RNG cards and pick the one that's perfect for the situation at the moment that you play it. And that really sucks and really limits deck building in the end because, as you can see, I mean, yeah, run a Swarm deck, everybody gets a Tremors. That kind of crap as RNG becomes more and more popular. I mean, right now you won't see it as much because there's RNG in the game and it's really annoying, yes, but I mean, it's not full blown yet. This is just the first implement of RNG and we already see what it's doing to the meta. The meta is transformed into a straight up pure tempo meta. You're either doing crazy damage or you're building crazy power and hoping they don't scorch you 4 times. Because Nilfgaard can scorch you 4 times, which is a wonderful thing. One of the craziest cards in the game can just be played 4 times. Why not? Um, yeah, so that's about it with this rant. That's another reason why I don't like RNG. And I just want to give two quick examples. I mean, I can probably gather more as I'm playing about how RNG will kill deck building in the end, and you'll just be able to run base decks where pure numbers. Like you thought it was mathematical before, oh, it's going to be very mathematical because you're just going to be able to run like units that do the most damage or are the highest power, and it's going to become rock paper scissors. So, well, rock paper scissors dice because you're also rolling dice on your RNG cards to see what you get. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Just wanted to go over those two examples real quick. I mean, I know I've been sounding salty lately, but I told you guys when they started revealing RNG cards how much I hate them because I've seen what it does in other card games, and I've played a ton of card games. I've seen what it did to Hearthstone, even when it was late RNG with Knife Juggler. No one liked Knife Juggler, and then they just made tons of more RNG cards. I've seen what it did with Duelist. Duelist, they started adding in RNG. It became such a crap fest. It was ridiculous. So that's just my thoughts and rant about this crap. Because people were saying that RNG diversifies the meta, which is just a lie because it limits the meta, if anything. And yeah, that's about it, guys. See you guys in the next one. Hope draft comes out soon so I can sound happier when I play the game. Till then, see ya.